Hi everyone, this is audap. Let's continue our game of AI, the Somnium Files on Nintendo Switch. Why? The lips are super dry, cracking. Chapped lips are always a problem for me during the summer. Everybody says, "Hey, drink more water." It's like that doesn't help. Continuing Sunday's events.
I probably don't have to ask, but let me just be sure. After I left the warehouse, what did you do?
I put Monica's body back onto the hood of the forklift. Then, I left.
Makes sense.
That's why the police didn't see the body when they arrived on the scene. It makes perfect sense now that I have the facts. Iris did not resurrect. You simply mistook Monica for Iris. The body did not disappear. Hitomi moved it. Those were the events at the warehouse Sunday night. Simple.
Did you tell Renju about blackmailing So?
No, I did not. All of this was my idea.
Why did Rohan remove Monica's eye?
I'm sorry. I have no idea.
Summarize for me.
There are still a few loose ends, but I believe I understand what occurred 18 years ago. However, none of this ties directly back to Shoko Nadami. Her murder was just 4 days ago. Is it connected? Or are these two separate cases?
If there is a connection, it would be with Renju and So. We can think about it later. More importantly,
I headed for the exit.
Wait. Where are you going?
to look for Iris, of course.
But you have no idea where she is, right?
Do you know something?
Yes.
How do you know where Iris is?
At around 4 o'clock today, I received a phone call. I don't know who it was. They were using a voice modulator.
What did they say?
I have your daughter. Don't call the police or she dies. That's why I didn't tell you earlier.
Renju.
We don't know that for certain. It could be number 89.
Either way, Iris is in danger right now.
Listen to the rest of the story.
The voice asked for something else. He told me to go to a specified location with you.
With me?
Yes.
The culprit knows me? It must be Renju. What location?
I'm sorry, but this stops now.
Date. Run!
Boss!
Please, do not worry. I merely put her to sleep.
What are you doing?
My orders! They told us to halt our investigation. The boss was already going against orders as it is, which is why...
Investigation? What investigation? Shoko or Iris?
Neither. The investigation of Monica's murder.
Monica? But her case is all but completely solved.
Yes, but only to us, right? If we say nothing, then her investigation is ongoing.
So Tsujima. So threatened us, didn't he?
I don't know. But you've been stripped of your authority on this investigation. As of 5 minutes ago. In fact, you are to be placed under house arrest. What will you do, Date? I suggest you comply.
Aiba, can you turn the power off?
Easily.
Alright, get ready. 3, 2, 1. Now tell me, where is the location?
I can't tell you.
Why not?
If I told you, you'd go alone, wouldn't you? But if I don't go with you...
Alright, take me there.
They just bring me there to kill everyone. Abandoned Factory, Tuesday, 9:30 p.m.
I know this place.
It's the chemical plant that closed 8 years ago.
I knew that. How did I know that? Corners of my mind were aching.
Date, I'm sorry, but this is going to be bad.
What happened?
Someone has begun to access my stored memory. They are attempting to wipe all the data. Everything I have accumulated over the last 5 years, including backups.
Pewter. Is Pewter doing this?
Almost definitely. He does have admin rights. I summoned some ice, but that will only buy time. I have 4 hours at the most. After my ice is broken, Peter will be able to access Watch It, my core programming. He would be able to destroy my mind.
Why?
It must be related to the orders they are receiving from the top. The higher-ups clearly see you as a threat, Date. They are attempting to limit your power by removing me from the equation. I suppose their motivation hardly matters now. The most important thing now is finding Iris and bringing her to Abyss within 4 hours. Or else, I will cease to exist.
Date? What's wrong?
Nothing. Just...
All right, now you know. So get moving. I'm counting on you, Date.
4 hours. It's fine. That should be plenty of time. I gripped my revolver and got moving.
I'll go in first. You wait here.
Okay.
Is that... Renju?
Case remains unsolved. Oh, is that really the end? What other choices could I have made? Oh, okay. That unlocks that case. I think this is the timeline where Boss is the murderer. Yeah. 5 Tuesday, Junai. So this isn't the true timeline? Police headquarters, Tuesday, 12:19 a.m.
That is...
Sosajima. Why? Why? Boss? What's going on here? Why did Boss kill So? Shoko was killed around 5 p.m. Friday. What was Boss doing at that time?
Unknown.
Boss's alibi for Renju's murder.
What about Saturday, 8 p.m.?
The time Renju was killed? Similarly unknown.
Alibi for Iris's and Oto's murder.
Iris and Ota were killed at different times. I was watching the stream on the call with Boss.
Only the first few minutes. The polar bear had not yet appeared on stream. It is possible that she made the call from somewhere off camera.
Where was Boss's phone at the time? Check her cell records.
She did not call from a mobile phone. She used a PC. Using a VPN service, she could have accessed her Abyss PC from the warehouse and made the call.
I don't believe it. Boss?
Boss is the new Cyclops killer? Shoko, Renju, Iris, Ota, So. Boss killed them all?
The evidence makes that a likely possibility. So also had his left eye removed. Identical to Shoko, Renju, and Iris.
Oh, but Boss is so hot.
Date, I know where the boss is. I have picked up her GPS.
Where?
She is now at the Sagan residence. Somewhere inside Hitomi's house.
What?
Sagan residence, Tuesday, 1:03 a.m. I drew my gun from its holster and barged into the house.
Hitomi! Hitomi!
I called her, but there was no reply. I didn't see Boss either.
Iva, call Boss's phone.
On it.
phone vibrating? Where's it coming from?
The boss's phone.
Oh shit.
Kaname Date, you were under arrest for murder.
What the hell?
Drop your weapon. Comply!
Boss.
Boss, what the fuck are you doing?
I could ask you the same thing. You killed Shoko Nadami, didn't you?
That's ridiculous. What are you talking about?
Don't lie.
Where's Hitomi?
I don't know. She was gone when I got here.
Why did you come here?
Why would I tell you?
Did you kill the 5 victims?
Are you kidding me?
You're the new Cyclops killer.
What? Why do you think that?
You put a gun to So's head and pulled the trigger. I saw it with my own eye.
Shut up! Shut up! Stop lying!
Boss. Fight!
This is going nowhere.
Are you going to fight?
I have no choice.
I recommend against it. You have 0 chance of winning a firefight.
Well then, what can I do?
Let me think. Date, what is that on the kitchen table? Could it be your favorite thing?
What?
The magazine.
You want me to look at a magazine now?
Just look.
It can't be. This is the stuff of legends. Only the most diehard fans have ever laid eyes on it.
That's right. I love a porno mags.
Whoa! Limited edition!
What?
Date, load Evolver with firebomb bullets. Shoot at the cloud.
Why?
Just do as I say, and fast. She is probably just unconscious. Her right shoulder and left leg suffered damage, but she will live.
A dust explosion, huh? Good thinking.
Thank you.
But you could have just had me throw the bag of flour.
That would have been too slow. To improve your reaction time, I had to improvise.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, let's have a look. Hey, this is just a cooking magazine.
Police headquarters Tuesday, 2:31 a.m.
Boss is still unconscious. However, her brainwaves are stable. Syncing with her shouldn't be an issue.
Talk to her.
Date, talking to her would be pointless. You do know that, don't you?
I decided to sync with her. Asking questions would just be wasting time. Besides, even if she was awake, I can't imagine she'd take too kindly to an interrogation. Hitomi still hasn't been found. I have a bad feeling about this. But there's a good chance that boss knows where she is. How would I get that information? Getting into her head would definitely be the quickest way. That's why I brought her here. Sync machine. What else am I supposed to look at? The subject's chair. The person sitting here is the subject of the sinking. The sinker's chair. The person sitting here does the sinking. Why are you so cooperative?
Because I know that the boss is my enemy. I got the video from Aiba. I processed it and found that it showed no sign of tampering or editing. Which means there can be no mistake. The boss shot and killed So Sejima. After pulling out his left eye. That makes the odds of her being the culprit behind the other murders very high. Or maybe she had accomplices. Either way, she's a criminal. That's why I am cooperating with you, Special Agent Date. I want it as bad as you do. The truth.
How's boss?
She has broken her right shoulder, as well as the fibula of her left leg. But her brain is perfectly healthy. You can sync with her.
Where is number 89?
I had him put back behind bars.
In Fuchu prison.
That's right. I couldn't keep him here.
Sync with boss.
Pewter, are the preparations done?
Ready anytime.
Let's get started.
Date.
I know. 6-minute time limit. I'll be back before time's up.
Well then, let's begin.
What's she doing?
Time to loosen up.
Do you always have to come in like that?
It is of the utmost importance.
At a time like this?
Times like this are perfect. Anyway, it appears to be an abandoned factory of some kind.
What could Boss be hiding here?
Somnium scan. Activate.
Okay, Boss is hiding something to reveal the truth of the new Cyclops serial killings.
A rusted metal door.
Let's break the lock.
Break the lock with that.
Roger. I will try. It worked!
All right, open it.
Several keys have fallen.
One of them must be the right one.
I do not have time to try all of them.
Hopefully there's some kind of sign.
Indeed.
So you open the first door.
Agent Date, you've got 5 minutes.
It's a key. The ice pick is next to this key. It appears to be correct.
That's what I said.
The tag is labeled A.
I was right. Give me some credit.
That must mean you can use this key for something labeled A.
Come on.
Agent Date, you've got 4 minutes.
Did I do that wrong? I think I did it wrong.
Agent Date, you've got 5 minutes.
A door that looks like the Anywhere door.
Trying only cost 10
It
seconds.
appears to be locked.
Finding the key cost 50 seconds because of the bad icon. So I saved more time doing it this way.
It's a key. A door that looks like the Anywhere door.
Let's open it.
Perhaps we can use the key I just picked up.
Yeah, try that.
It opened. Odd. Isn't this the third floor? What is going on here?
Looks like the floors are connected in a weird way.
Quite the troublesome dream.
Agent Date, you've got 4 minutes.
A door with B written on it. It does not appear to be locked. This is the second floor, but it is clearly not the door I just opened.
It's like a maze. I have to remember what door goes where.
Door C.
It's 3 seconds to open it. That's fine.
It doesn't appear to be locked. Oh, we're on the second floor again.
We leave the second floor and come right back to it? This is confusing.
Door E. An oil drum hung with wire.
Let's push it.
Oh,
Guess you should check that door.
a rusted metal door.
Alright.
It does not appear to be locked. This again.
So we can't just grab one. We have to be careful.
Okay, so penalty. Try to minimize the penalty.
Door E.
You have 3 minutes, Date.
It's a key with a watch beside it. The hands indicate 8 o'clock.
Pick that up.
Is this the correct answer?
Saturday night at 8 matches Renju's estimated time of death.
D is written on the tag. Let's go, Date. D door. I will try the key.
Yeah, try it.
It opened. This door too. A broken pipe. Steam is leaking out. Yeah! Oh, it's just as I calculated.
You were surprised, admit it.
A rusted metal door. Most of the ice is gone now.
Let's open it.
I think I can open this door. This key has control panel written on the tab.
Control panel? The one right there?
Rows of monitors and buttons.
Let's investigate. That's the lowest
This
number of
appears to
time.
be old. I believe this computer controls the factory's electronics. It appears to require a key to activate. Rows of monitors and buttons.
Insert the key.
There! Oh,
So?
I see. If we move the scaffold, a new route appears.
Okay, let's move it.
Rows of monitors and buttons.
Let's rotate the key.
Shrunk.
Rows of monitors and buttons.
Press the switch.
Oh,
I see. Rows of monitors and buttons.
Rotate the key.
it extended.
Now we can use the route to door B.
That means I just need to open door B prime. No, not this way though. D prime. D prime?
Door D prime.
You have less than 2 minutes. Hurry!
C.
Door C prime. Door B prime.
Six.
Door F. This is the first time we've seen it.
Kick it off.
The first floor. This is the first time we've been here.
That big door. If we can see what's in there, we'll figure something out.
An iron ladder.
Attack what?
Ready? Whoa! This somnium is awfully dangerous.
Hey, that door. Maybe we can open that one now. Check it out.
A rusted metal door. I'm going to open it.
Or why is the boss the murderer?
That's... Iba, return to the control room on the 3rd floor.
At once.
Renju killed his wife. Boss killed Renju. What? Renju killed his wife. Agent killed Renju. So killed Agent. Boss killed So. Well, that's a complicated chain. So
What the hell is going on?
everyone's guilty?
Date, what are you doing? 6 minutes are up!
Wait! Hitomi is...
Date, you can't go any longer! Force shutdown!
No!
So Renji kills Shoko. And Achan finds out and kills Renju. So kills Achan to hide his extramarital affair, and then Boss kills So. But then Boss also kills Hitomi. Day 5 Tuesday, EI. Police headquarters, Tuesday, 3:14 a.m. Wow, this one's a complicated one.
I took a look around your head, and I discovered something. Something about the new Cyclops serial killings. Apart from Ota, there are 4 victims. Shoko Nadami, Renju Okiura, Iris Sagan, and So Tsujima. Who was responsible for these murders? Shoko was stabbed by Renju with an ice pick. Renju was strangled to death by Iris. So cut open Iris's body. But who shot So? It was you. In other words, all of these murders were committed by different people. There wasn't just one killer. That's how it looks on the surface, anyway. But that's not the truth, is it? There's only one culprit. One person. And that person is...
Sure, what's our time? God, we're at time. Let's go just a little bit longer. It's you.
Yes, you. The person in front of me right now.
You're blaming the commander of Abyss for this?
No, not Boss. The person inside Boss's head.
Can you at least try to make sense?
Alright, I'll explain. You know about the abandoned chemical plant in Kawasaki?
Oh, loading the scene, okay.
There's a prototype sink machine there. You use that device to swap around bodies one by one.
In other words, the entire egg ends up being replaced. Mind, consciousness, memory, they are traded. Switched.
I don't know where it started, but at some point, you got into Shoko's brain. Then, you got into Renju's. And got rid of Shoko's body. After Renju was Iris. You strangled Renju using Iris. After that, into So. Who you used to kill Iris and Ota at the cold storage warehouse. Now, you're in Boss's body. Inside her head.
I see. If you know that much, then I have nothing left to hide. Yes, I am the culprit behind the new Cyclops serial killings. I guess you can call me the new Cyclops killer.
Who the hell are you?
Saito. Saito Tsujima. Congressman Tsujima's son.
What?
I researched Saito thoroughly, but I cannot find any images of him on the internet. He is listed on the family register, but I cannot find any photographs.
Who was inside Iris during the interrogation Sunday?
That was me.
You imitate her well. From the way you talked and your body language, it was like the real Iris. Earlier, too. You almost had me fooled. Your imitation of Boss was perfect.
Yes, there's a reason for that. Let me define some terms first. A person's memory and sense of self. Let's call that personality. It isn't quite the right word, but it'll suffice. Now, transferring that personality into someone else's brain, let's call that parasitism. The one transferring is the parasite, the one being transferred into is the host. Are you with me so far? Moving on. Even after the personality exchange is complete, the host's memory isn't completely lost. About 1% remains in the brain. So, a parasite could use that 1% to imitate the language and behavior of the host. That's how I knew about the warehouse and Sunfish Pocket, by the way. Thanks to Renju and Iris's remaining memories. I'm telling you, it was me. Why are you making me repeat myself?
That means the Somnium I entered on Sunday.
That's right. It was me.
How? How does he know about the original Cyclops killer? And something else was troubling me.
What's going on here?
Give me details of each crime.
Before I do, there's something I want to hear from you. How did you know about the prototype sync machine? And not only that, you also seem to know what the sync machine is truly capable of. Why is that?
That's...
Regaining your memories, are you? Human memory is fractal. If you retain even a single piece of it, it's possible to recreate the whole thing. Pieces of memories are like roots that grow into every corner of the brain, gradually, slowly, taking its time. I imagine the same thing is happening in your brain right now.
A fractal is a figure with self-similarity. Allow me to explain. See this? Whichever fragment you cut, you will see a similar shape. The whole is made up of its similar parts. This is called a fractal figure. Memories in the brain are similar. That is what he is explaining. He is claiming that from a few pieces, you can rebuild the memory.
I knew about the prototype from regaining my memory. Is that right? No, that's not it.
Parallel worlds exist.
Continue.
Fine. I still have time.
time.
You'll see. So, where do you want me to start?
It's just past midnight on Tuesday. Shoko was killed on Friday. If we think of that as day 1, then today is day 5. What was Saito doing during those days? I decided to ask him. Day 1, Friday.
Like you guessed, my personality was in Shoko, Renju's ex-wife. That made calling Renju easy. I need to talk to you about something. He came over without question. I think it was around 4 p.m. I had him meet me at the chemical plant. I made Renju go to sleep. Synced. Switched personalities. and then stabbed Shoko's discarded body with an ice pick. I took Shoko to Bloom Park by car, using the old abandoned subway line. Must have been around 8 p.m. by the time I was finished. I tied up Shoko to one of the merry-go-round horses. After that, I used Renju's phone to send a Nile message to Mizuki.
Mizuki, Daddy got caught in something serious.
Then, I just waited for Mizuki to arrive.
Day 2, Saturday.
Until next Saturday evening, my personality was inside Renju. My next target was Iris. I knew she would be suspicious if I asked her to come to Kawasaki, so I asked her to come to Sunfish Pocket first. I called her a little before 5 p.m., and she arrived just after 6. I greeted her, then convinced her to come with me. That's when Ota saw us. Anyway, I put her in the car, then headed to the chemical plant. On the way, I made her take a sleeping pill. I knew she might run once she saw where we were going. It was around 7 p.m. when I got there, and I wasted no time switching bodies. After getting Iris's body, I used a rolled-up apron to strangle Renju to death. Then I put his body in an empty oil drum I'd prepared earlier. I put that in the trunk of the car, then headed to Sunfish Pocket. But then, something I didn't anticipate happened. Waiting for the signal in Akiba, someone knocked on the window of the car. It was Ota. He asked me something about being able to drive. He was surprised, to say the least. I didn't have time to waste on him. But I couldn't risk him finding the oil drum in the trunk. Plus, if word got around that Renji's car was spotted driving around Akiba, that would foil my plans. So, I came up with a lie. I told him that I didn't have a license, so he had to keep it a secret. That's what that thing referred to in Ota's Nile messages, by the way. And just like that, I managed to escape a bad situation and headed to Sunfish Pocket as planned. The rest went exactly as you already figured out.
Day 3, Sunday.
Sunday morning, I had a recording or some such thing scheduled. Oh, I am of course referring to Iris. I didn't want to draw suspicion, so I decided to attend as planned. I went to Lemniscate and performed my job. And when I left, I ran into you, Date. To be honest, I was a little surprised. Just the previous night, I was a parasite in the body of Renju. I didn't think Ota had seen me. So, of course, I didn't expect to see you there so soon. You were on to me, but there was nothing I could do about that. If I ran, it would only increase your suspicion. So I decided to play my role. The interrogation began around 8:20 p.m., is that right? Then you synced into my mind. you didn't get what you were looking for, did you? As a result, you had no choice but to release me. I didn't want to go home right away. I knew there might be police waiting for me. That would make it difficult to sneak out at night. And that would put my plan in jeopardy. So I asked you to take me to Marble. I tried to find an opportunity to run, but then another unexpected event occurred. I got a Nile message from Ota. I knew I could use him. So I told him I needed his help and to meet me at Marble. He did as I instructed him to do. After that, I got into the van with Ota. But because his presence was unnecessary, I asked him to stop at a convenience store to buy me something to drink. When he was gone, I took his car and drove to my parents' house where I used to live. Yes, the Sejima residence. Of course, I knew I couldn't just walk up and ring the doorbell. Hello, Father, it's been a long time. I was also in Iris's body at the time. But I thought I could use that to my advantage. So I pushed on the intercom and sure enough, my dad invited me inside. I told him this. I want you to come with me. There's something I need to show you. He was quiet for a while, but eventually agreed, and got into the van with me. We arrived at the prototype sync machine around 11:50 p.m. By the time I was in the body of Sosajima, it was a new day.
Continue.
This was yesterday. Early Monday morning, past midnight. In my new body, I drugged Iris, put her in the van, and drove to a new location. Okiura Fishery Cold Storage Warehouse. I arrived around 1, then prepared for the show for a couple hours. Of course, when I say show, I mean dismembering Iris. Because of the temperature in the warehouse, it took longer than I expected to prepare, but... well, you saw it in the video. Of course, I didn't anticipate Ota would show up. What does that make it? 3 times that brat has showed up unexpectedly? That annoyed me to no end, and I took that out on him. Dressing him up in the polar bear was an impromptu plan on my part. I didn't mean to make you think he was the killer. I just wanted to throw a wrench into the investigation. Didn't matter if you found out or not. This all happened Monday morning. I left the warehouse around 3:30 a.m.
Monday?
There isn't much to talk about on Monday. Before noon, I used my old man's body to call this one Boss. You might not know this, but she and my father go back about 6 years. The two shared a terrible secret. Hinting at that was enough to get the boss to come running to me immediately. I injected her with a sedative, then brought her body to the chemical plant. I synced with her, exchanged our bodies. And after blowing my father's brains out, I cut his body into pieces.
So my body is so Sejima.
I stuffed the meat into a vase I'd brought earlier, then drove back to my house.
Continue. Saito spoke with grace and no sign of remorse. I was trying to keep my anger from boiling over and kept asking him questions. Why didn't the sink victims resist after waking?
Ah, the prototype sink machine has a special feature. It administers a strong dose of sedatives to the original body, and a stimulant to the host after a sink. That kept them docile.
Why did you display the bodies the way you did?
To harass you. I wanted to bring out the hatred in you. That's why I called Mizuki to Bloom Park. That's why I streamed Iris's murder. Because they were important to you, weren't they? I wanted you to feel cornered, trapped. I wanted to punish you, Kaname Date.
Why did you take out your victim's eyes?
You know all about the prototype sink machine, don't you? That should explain it.
I knew. The prototype sink machine differed from the ones at Abyss in a few key ways. The machine at Abyss is more sophisticated. Nanocables from the sink gear enter through the gap between the eyeball and the socket. Then they travel down the optic nerve canal to the brain. But the prototype sink machine isn't so advanced. To perform a sink, you need to remove the left eye, manually. The subject and the sinker have to remove their eye from the socket. Otherwise, the cables cannot enter the brain. Of course, even with the eye removed, severing the connection to the brain isn't necessary. The extracted eyeball still has the optic nerve and blood vessels connected. After a sink, the eye is supposed to be replaced back into the socket. It's supposed to be safe. Side effects are rare. Unless the nerve or blood vessels are damaged somehow, replacing the eyeball isn't too difficult. Why did you take out your victim's eyes?
Of course, I don't really care about eyes. I don't need them. All I cared about was exchanging bodies with the sink. And for that, I needed to remove the left eye.
Why didn't you just put the eyes back when you were done?
That's obvious. Once I was finished transferring into a new body, the old one was of no concern to me. Why would I bother replacing the eye? I was just going to get rid of it anyway.
Where are the eyeballs that you removed?
Shoko's is in Renju. Renju's is in Iris. Iris's is in Dad. Dad's is in Boss. Their stomachs, I mean.
You sick bastard.
Yes, I ate them. Immediately after exchanging personalities.
How horrible.
What's your motive?
Homicide is my hobby. I have a tenacity for it, what can I say? Of course, it was also necessary to make sure people kept their mouths shut. If I took over someone's body, they would know about my crimes. I couldn't risk them reporting me, so I killed them. It was also a matter of revenge. Against you. It's personal. That's why I chose people close to you as targets. Well, except for my father, of course. That was personal to me. But don't ask. It's embarrassing.
Revenge against me?
This series of murders was like a journey for me, you know? Traveling through bodies to finally reach the end. That's the thing about traveling. You always wind up in the same place, don't you? Where do you think that is? your home. A trip is only complete once you return home. The same goes for me. When I return home, my travels will come to an end. So I'll be needing it back. My body.
What?
You stole my body. You took it from me 6 years ago. That's why I want revenge.
What are you talking about?
You have no idea what it was like inside my own head. I miss it. I miss my brain, Date. No matter how many people I killed, it never worked. I never felt happy. I feel miserable.
You mean?
He was born with a brain dysfunction. Due to damage to the posterior pituitary gland, he was unable to properly secrete oxytocin.
Oh, that's right. My old body. How are you finding it, Date?
This body's yours?
That's what I've been telling you!
But I don't have the same oxytocin deficiency you did.
That is because I regularly supplement it. They must have increased your dosage too much.
No, but the person who had this disorder was number 89, the original Cyclops killer.
That is what I believed as well. But we must have misunderstood. Pewter did not specify who exactly was imprisoned. Only that one of the original culprits responsible was currently in prison.
That's strange. That would mean number 89 is the previous chairman, Rohan.
That must be it. Rohan is a parasite inside number 89's brain. Pewter must have known that.
No way.
I was confused. I didn't understand any of it.
Let us determine the specifics using Saito as our starting point. Whose brain was he in before Boss?
So Sejima.
And before So?
Iris. And before that, Renju. And before that, Shoko.
And before Shoko?
Whose body were you in before Shoko?
I was a parasite inside Rohan's brain 6 years ago until last year. I'd lost most of my memories. I was a shell of a man. They housed me in a special hospital. But I still had those fragments of my mind left. Just as I explained earlier. From a single piece, you can recreate the whole. I took my time, slowly regaining my memories. 1 year ago, I remembered everything. I left the hospital and immediately sought out Shoko Nadami. I got her body, and she was in Rohan's. When she saw herself in the mirror, she lost her mind. She was confused, panicking, running up the emergency staircase, and then...
That's why Rohan committed suicide.
After that, I spent a year perfecting my plan, using Shoko's body. I spied on you all this time. That's why I know everything about you.
Were you before Rohan?
In there, in that body you are operating right now, in that skull, my personality lived there.
Wait, hold on. If what you're saying is true, what about my personality?
It was in Rohan.
I'm not Rohan!
Correct. It is just as he explained earlier. Number 89 was in Rohan's body. In other words...
That's... my real...
So I'm number 89. Okay, that makes sense. Keep talking.
Sorry, but time's up. I want my body back. It's quite simple. Sync with me and stay inside my mind for more than 6 minutes.
And if I refuse?
I know that you won't. I know it.
Huh?
Date, look! This is streaming live!
Damn you!
If you give me back my body, I will give you the location. Oh, and of course, it isn't the chemical plant in the Kawasaki district.
Aiba, where's the source?
It is being routed through numerous IPs. I cannot identify the source.
Pewter, contact headquarters, now!
Got it!
Now, what will you do? Will you agree to my request?
Oh, these are pretty interesting twists. I'm surprised the fans of previous working off of Zero Escape. Surprised they don't like it as much. But I think people were complaining about the mechanics and how something worked and something didn't work. So maybe it's more about the gameplay, but I think the story's pretty engaging. I mean, I'm starting to still interested to see what happens. I'll do it or I won't do it. I think the bad end comes from not doing it, so let's say I won't do it.
Doc, I'm hurt. Don't you care about what happens to her? Do you understand the gravity of this situation? A bomb is strapped to her body. You're too stubborn. Or maybe you're just cold-hearted.
I don't have a choice, parent.
Date!
See? I knew you wouldn't refuse. I know you well, don't I, Date?
Police headquarters Tuesday, 4:28 a.m.
I did it. I did it. I'm back. I got it all back.
Hey, where's Hitomi?
All right, I'll tell you as promised. Boss's house. However, it might be too late by now.
What?
That's predictable.
Why?
Return my body and I'll tell you the location. That's what I said. I didn't lie. I kept my promise.
You bastard!
You're the one who injured that body. It's your own fault, really.
Damn it.
Be seeing you.
Yeah, I'll say Iris is in there. Or, I mean, Iba's in there.
Date, are you alright?
But he won't be out for long. Iba's voice barely resonated. My eyesight was hazy, a heap of broken images. Sweat was building on my palms. It felt like my throat was closing up, and I was struggling for breath. In my ears, the rushing blood of my heartbeat was the only sound.
Everyone's dead.
Shoko, Renju, Iris, Ota, Hitomi. Lost. The flesh remains, the mind is lost.
I couldn't do anything. Saito had me right where he wanted me. Nothing. Nothing.
Parallel worlds exist.
The words suddenly echoed in my head. I couldn't remember who or where or why, but I thought that if there really was such a world, and me, that world, I is another.
Could I have had a better future?
I prayed that I could. I felt my consciousness sink into a black abyss. Oh, so this is also a bad end, actually. Interesting. Yeah, I think it's a fascinating story. I'm certainly a fan. I think I'll go look for a Zero Escape and play through that as well. And I certainly suggest that people pick up this game, AI Somnium Files, for whatever platform you want to play it on. So it's available on pretty much every platform at this point in time. We still have one more ending to go through, which I'm assuming this one finally unlocks that ending, and we can see the true end. There may even be two endings. We might have to play through this next ending and then go through one more. That's fairly traditional in the world of visual novels. You know, it happened a lot with Raging Loop, and I actually still haven't gone through the rest of Raging Loop and all the epilogues and everything. But I figured people could do that on their own if they're interested in checking it out. Yeah, I'm happy that I have the Switch version. I mean, this is the kind of game that would be good, a visual novel would be good as a portable game on the go. Play in bits and pieces, and the graphics and the sound. The sound's perfectly fine. The graphics are fine. But I think I will, at some point in time, pick this up on PC so I can get kind of the full breadth of the visuals. Although, as I said, again, they don't really suffer that much on the Switch other than the lack of anti-aliasing, which is just a common thing with the Switch. Nintendo just, for whatever reason, they didn't build that into the Switch's graphic chipset and make it free. You know, if you get a if you get the NVIDIA Shield, then that stuff is really built in for free. That doesn't affect any clocks at all. So it's interesting the adjustments that they had to make in order to make the Switch with that chipset. I'm really hoping that the next system that Nintendo makes is a little bit more powerful. I don't expect it to be PlayStation 5 or Xbox Series X powerful, but it would be nice if it was a little bit better than the current gen systems. It's sat just behind the PlayStation 5. But to have that portable form factor, I don't know. It'd be awful difficult to keep that in the battery life into some reasonable amount of time. But they've had systems with unreasonable amounts of battery life. You know, 3DS, I'm looking at you. So I don't see why it would be that much of a problem, honestly. Although portable gaming isn't what it is anymore, with all the self-lockdowns and the forced lockdowns. I don't think people are really playing portable anymore, although maybe they are playing inside their own rooms without a TV. Who knows? Yeah, I can't recommend this game enough. I think it's fantastic. Even if it has some faults, and it does have some faults here and there, they're very, very minor to the overall experience. And a game like this is the kind of game that I'm talking about that has, you know, a really interesting plot with interesting characters that I think deserves more credit, as opposed to, you know, me playing The Last of Us 1 or 2, a game which I don't feel has that good of a plot or that good of characters compared to, you know, the rest of the genre. I mean, in the detective AI genre, this is actually pretty good. And I think it has enough plot twists that keep you guessing pretty well into the end of the game. Although it only kept me guessing because it's so ridiculous. I'm like, I don't know how I could think of that kind of a plot reveal, you know? Annihilation Road End. Yeah, like I said, I think we have one more route. Let me take a little bit of a break, and then we'll start on the next route, because I think it still takes quite a bit more gameplay to get to the end of this route, which we started with earlier today. Yeah, we'll see how that one goes. Anyway, this is audap. You've been watching AI, the Somnium Files on Nintendo Switch. I hope you enjoyed watching. I will see you at the next stream.